Have you seen any adults at all?
I've seen like a couple adults.
There's no place Charlotte Smith would rather be this summer than in Vermont, looking for bugs.
You see something new every day, and I learn about what a new bug is, like every time I scout.
Whoa.
Along with raising her entomological acumen, Smith has figured out a few things about herself.
Being outside, like, it made me realize, like, I don't think I ever want to have an office job. I just want to, like, look at bugs on farms. I'm learning, and I'm also helping people, and it's just like seeing how like small things, like looking at a plant, can like make a difference for farmers. There you go. Look out.
This scouting work is part of a first-of-its-kind program at the University of Vermont called the Agroecology Extension Summer Research Fellowship, AXE Fellowship for short. It's a 10-week program, and participants are paid a stipend. The effort is part of the Agroecology and Livelihoods Collaborative, a partnership between UVM Extension and the Plant and Soil Science Department. Scott Lewins serves as the AXE Fellowship's extension coordinator.
There's teaching, there's research, and there's extension. So the AXE Fellowship is it is the intersection of those three things. It's students getting learning opportunities, doing research, while also providing that farmer-friendly outreach at the end.
Vic Izzo is the other half of the AXE Fellowship's leadership team. He works as the program's educational coordinator.
What this AXE Fellowship allows us to do, it's not just about being an intern, right? You can go out and work as an internship during the summer. This gives us, because we have a whole cohort of students, where each week the students get to learn skills, agriculture, working with farmers, relationship building, all that, but then they also get the opportunity to reflect with a cohort of other students where they can actually kind of integrate that knowledge, and then finally at the end they have to give a deliverable that allows them to perhaps share with their families, share with other academics, share with farmers. And so this process, really in a nutshell, is kind of what extension agents do.
When it comes to agriculture, the focus is production and yields. It kind of has to be. Agroecology attempts to put less eggs in that basket, so to speak, and look at the bigger picture. Izzo and Lewins teach students to take a systems approach, from the root to the fruit, and from the farmer to the consumer, and everywhere in between.
I think there's a tendency for researchers to think up cool ideas and questions based upon agriculture in these bubbles, even with undergraduate or graduate students, with no interaction with farmers. We are directly going to farmers, as opposed to thinking in my box. And I can think of a lot of good questions. They have the best questions because they're out on the ground and farming.
There haven't really been many eggs on this side.
The students scout for pests and plant diseases on several sites throughout the state. Their findings go into a database for the Vermont Vegetable and Berry Growers Association. Growers then make management decisions based on this data.
It's not like just doing a book report, right, where they find a bunch of information and then report it out, right? This is usable information that, in fact, the Vermont Vegetable and Berry Growers Association is funding part of that because it was so valuable, such valuable information for them.
I feel like you don't really ever see the eggs on the top.
This kind of work is known as applied research. The direct benefit to farmers is why Ashley Pearson signed on to the program.
The agroecology is so broad, so I was really excited to experience it firsthand and get more experience out in the field and connecting with farmers. Building relationships, I think, for anything is super important. So to be able to be in the field with these farmers daily has been super amazing. And talking with them and them just really getting into what they do and having them explain what their day-to-day life is like is really cool.
The AXE Fellowship provides students with knowledge that can't be learned in a classroom.
In the classroom, it's a lot of showing pictures and just telling. Experiencing is so much different because you really can't capture everything in a picture or even a video. So yeah, being out in the field is it's super cool because you're really learning and you can repeat it and do it again and teach other people. So yeah, it's way different than being in the classroom.
As a student, I think sometimes, especially undergrad, people would be like, oh, just reach out to your faculty about getting involved in research. But then you need to have prior research experience. So this is kind of a way to get research experience and feel more comfortable talking to teachers that you probably wouldn't have felt like going up to at the end of a 3-hour, like 200-person lecture class. I think like experiencing it and like just like doing it makes you appreciate like what it actually means, because you can just like make notes and like kind of understand why things are important, but like actually being a part of the process is like how I learn.
These are experiential learning opportunities, you know, to use jargon, high impact learning opportunities that students just want to do. You can take a class online or in person, you can sit in a classroom, but I hear repeatedly from students and academics also say what students really crave is these experiential learning opportunities.
Agroecology is the study of relationships between people, places, and things. What students experience in this program is what binds all those relationships together: trust.
If you don't have a relationship of trust, adoption of anything that you're testing is never going to happen. And the same thing with students. If you don't have a relationship of trust, you're never going to get them to hear you. So education is built on trust, adoption's built on trust. I basically think that everything's built on relationships.
This experience marks a time in Smith's life that she'll learn from and always remember.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of notes there. I never thought that I'd like be so interested in bugs or like want to even explore that in the future, and now that's something that I think is really cool. I just learned a lot, and I think I'll always like remember this summer and like, oh, like summer of 2021, I just was outside in Vermont visiting beautiful farms and making cool connections and learning a lot.
Scouting for bugs with colleagues to help farmers grow food to feed the community. That's what you call fellowship. In Burlington, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.